This is a demo of our data visualization project where we built various visualizations in Tableau on the New York City Film Permit dataset provided by the New York City Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment. The visualizations are contained within 3 dashboards, which get progressively more granular and focus on different types of analyses of the data. The intended audience for these visualizations are content creators such as film and TV producers, as well as traffic and public safety officials in New York City. Let's begin with our first dashboard. These visualizations provide a high-level breakdown of all permits through time in this dataset, which includes information from 2012 through 2021. In the top left, we have a bubble chart. That breaks down the number of permits by borough. We can see that Manhattan has the most permits and Staten Island has the least. Below that, we have a bar chart which breaks down the permits by media category. We can see that most of the permits are for TV shows. Finally, if we wanted to go a little deeper, we can look at the map on the right side of the dashboard, which breaks down the permit density by zip code. Let's filter to Manhattan, see what happens. We can see that TV is still the most popular category of permits. However, let's filter a little further into this zip code right here. And we can see now that theater is actually the most popular in this area of Manhattan. And that makes sense because this is around Midtown Manhattan, and that's where most Broadway shows take place. Let's move on to the next dashboard. Here the user can conduct seasonal analysis looking at trends throughout the years and months of those years. On the left side of the dashboard, we have a bubble chart again and a zip code details table to tie back to our overview. Location data is at the heart of this data set, so we felt it was important to include in every dashboard. On the right side, the user can see how permit volume has trended over the years as well as months in those years. Here you can see over the years, and here you can see by month. We have also identified the holiday season as being particularly popular in New York, so we decided to bucket and highlight these months right here. Cool. So let's filter our dashboard based on what we saw above. If we filter category to theater, and we can see that zip code 10019, which is the one we identified above, is the most popular, or has the most theater permits. And if we filter into this zip code, we can see that theater permits in this area seem to be generally declining, with a steep drop-off after the pandemic hit. We can also see that the holiday season seems to be especially popular for this type of permit. Let's move on to our final dashboard. Here the user can conduct analysis based on the duration of permits. Again, we've included a bubble chart and a zip code details table to show location data. Now, the right side of the dashboard, we also have a breakdown of average permit duration by category right here. Additionally, we've included another view where we split up each permit into different duration buckets of 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, and month plus, with panels for all different categories down here. So let's continue with the analysis that we started above, and again filter into Manhattan. We can see, again, theater has the highest average duration of 2.79 days. And so let's look at trends in 2019, the last year before the pandemic hit. So we can see that TV has the most permits by far, but theater seems to be significantly longer, as we can see here. Lastly, in the dashboard, we could also have the ability to filter based on police precinct to help city officials understand to potentially allocate resources. For example, if we look at the 1st precinct, we can see that this department mostly dealt with one-day television permits in 2019. Sorry. So, a lot of one-day permits, and mostly in the television category. And even their theater permits were much lower than the average that we saw earlier. So they likely weren't too overwhelmed. Well, that's all we have today. Thank you so much for tuning in.